Okay, so the last thing we want to do with this model is have a way for Catia to actually get data back from the model. So right now we have parameters kind of driving and defining the geometry, but we also can set up parameters that get information back from the model itself. And maybe in this case, what we want to do is set up a few parameters that get information about the different areas of these surfaces that can represent kind of square footage floor values. In order to do that, we can set up formulas again, the same way. Instead, now we want to set up, if we want to get areas, we set up an area parameter. And here we can say area core to get the area of the core of the building. Now it's right here, and again, we can go into the definition, edit formula. And in Catia, under this dictionary, there's all these different commands that you can use. And the simplest one you can use is measures. And here you can see the syntax for how to measure different things in the model. So you can measure distances between two objects, lengths of curve type objects, and then here you can do areas. And this will tell you what kind of object it's looking for in the parentheses. So we want to measure the area of a surface, so we click this one, double click it to put into the window, and then it will have the tooltip inside parentheses. So all you have to do is find the object you want to measure, either in the model or in the tree. Here we have the core area as a surface object, so you can double click it, and it'll put a reference to that object right into this formula. So click OK. It's going to come up with a window that's basically saying that this formula will be updated, or this value will be updated every time you change the model. So we click OK, and now it's grayed out, and it's actually giving us the square meters of this surface. And if we go into our parameters and change the size of the core, you can see that parameter updates, and you can test it. 2 times 2 is 4, so that makes sense. Now, the next one we want to measure is the total floor area of the floors outside the cores. So in order to do that, we can measure each one of these and then sum them up, but it's a lot easier to create a new surface that is a combination of these 4 surfaces. So again, now we want to go back to this first object and put a new object in it, and the way we do that is we change the active geometric set. You can see right now second floor is underlined, so anything you make will go into the second floor. If we want to put objects into the first floor, we just right click and say define in work object, and now it's highlighted. And we want to create a new type of surface. It's a join. So if we click join, we can select any objects we want to join, click OK, and it creates a new join surface. And by default, it makes the old surfaces invisible. And to make something invisible, you just right click it and do hide show. It disappears, and you can bring these back like that. And if you ever want to see what you've hidden, you can toggle between visible and invisible view like that, and you can see this is the only thing hidden right now in the object. And that's really useful just to see if you don't want to necessarily unhide everything. You can go in here and unhide whatever you want, just again by right clicking and doing hide show, or clicking and pressing this hide show button, and here it's come back into the object. So again, you can work in any view. You can work with a model by clicking things. You can work in the tree. It's the same thing. So we want to hide that, and now we have this object. And we want to do the same thing for these. We go to second floor, define in work object, join, select the planes, okay, and it's built a new join here. So just to make it easier, we can rename these, say area floor 2 and area floor 1. And now we want to make a new parameter that gets the combination of both of these areas. So we go in here, new parameter of type area, do area underscore floor. Okay, and then same process again. We can double click, edit formula, go back to our measures, do area surface, select area floor 1, and then we can actually do any kind of algebra too. So we don't want just the area of that floor, we want both, so we can just do plus, go back to our measures, area surface again, and then pick area floor 2. Click OK. Okay, and now it's getting the area of both of those floors. If we change any of these parameters, we can change the offset. It updates with a new measurement. If we change the overhang, again it updates. Okay, and the last parameter we want to set up is something that measures the footprint of the building. In order to do that, we want to add the area of the surface of the floor to the area of the core. So again, we set up a new parameter of type area. Here we do area footprint. Okay, and same thing again. Edit formula. Measures area of surface, and here we want to select core area, do plus area surface and area floor 1. Okay, so now what we have is our final first model. It's defined 2 floors, and you have control with 3 parameters over the size of the core, the size of the offset of the first floor, and the size of the overhang of the second floor. And it's giving you information back about both the area of the core, total floor area, and the area of the footprint. Now we're going to take this model into modeFrontier and do our first experiment just using these 3 input parameters and 3 output parameters.